Hey there guys, MCB here, and welcome back to some more Rank Skywars. I am Have you ever wanted to join an amazing Discord server? No? Then boy have I got a deal for you. Come join MCB and the LEGO Lads, by far the worst Discord server you'll ever join. We've got music, memes, minigames, and more. It's very lonely all by myself with these 4 robots. I'm afraid they're after me, so please, send help. If you were around on the internet in 2013 and 14, there's a good chance, a very good chance, that you know the name Herobrine. One of the largest creepypastas of internet history, rivaled only by Slenderman himself, and it originated in a children's game about building with blocks. Since the massive success of the story of Herobrine, hundreds of others have come forward with their own take on the creepy video game subgenre, with Entity 303, Null, Green Steve, and many more dominating the Minecraft horror scene for the past few years. But now, these household names of not just Minecraft but the entire gaming and horror communities have essentially disappeared off the face of the web. Interest in them is at an all-time low, and their stories have been left in the past. So what happened? In this episode of Minecraft Uncovered, we'll be exploring the history of these spooky Minecraft legends, their fall from grace, and the future of Minecraft horror. Alright, so Dream did kinda beat me to the Herobrine part of this video, so that's all deleted now, rest in peace. Go check out the Herobrine videos by Dream or Ant Venom for a pretty good explanation of Herobrine's story and history, but there is some stuff that Dream wasn't sure about, didn't know or got wrong, that I want to clear up real quick. First off, Dream said that Copeland still believes the sighting was real to this day, and no. He admitted it was fake a while back, at least 2 months ago. He explained how he did it. His buddy Patamus outed themselves long before that, like 9 years ago. And this conversation that you're looking at is from Copeland to an admin of the Minecraft wiki, so you know it's not just some random guy who was pretending to be part of the story. Pause if you want to read it all the way through though, because I'm moving on. Next, Dream was talking about HIM or him, and most people did use that to refer to Herobrine, but there is also a separate smaller story based on the him character that spawned when Copeland made this creepy website with a Steve with human eyes and a corrupted creepypasta known as Wake Up at the bottom. Lastly, he thought it was a very big deal they didn't say that they removed Herobrine in 1.16, and it might be, but let me offer an explanation. In every single version of Minecraft that has had that update text, it's always referred to them removing old game files from the game. For example, one of the more notable ones was the 1.8 update for it, which signified them removing the old code for the human mob from the game. And if you didn't see my video about the old Steve and human mobs, definitely go check that out. All I'm saying is, maybe this time around, they didn't end up removing anything especially important, so they just didn't include it. So that's gonna be it for Herobrine. I was debating putting it in the video anyways, since there have been some pretty good videos about it, like Ant Venom's, but with Dream releasing his own video within just a month of mine, I'm just gonna skip over that. There are some unofficial phenomenon linked to Herobrine like Glowstone Towers or Alexbrine, but I can't really find any real origins or lore behind them. They seem to just have been thrown in at some point in the distant past, and they stuck around in some places. But Herobrine is far from the only Minecraft urban legend. This next story is a little dark, so I'll try to lighten the mood a bit because it's hard to take seriously anyways. Now, without further ado.
A brief history of Entity 303.
Frankie, John, Vincent, and Brady were playing Minecraft on a private server. Who are they? I don't know, I don't care, neither should you. Social Spy said that someone named player.number303 kept trying to stop the server. 20 minutes later, Frankie and Vincent see Slenderman off in the distance. Frankie investigates and this mummy-looking Lego man turns off his computer. Vincent ceases to exist, Brady gets scared and leaves, and John says, I'm about to head out. Also, someone keeps writing Make-A-Wish to Vincent in bloody ink. It's an interesting advertising campaign, guys, but I'm not sure if it's gonna take off. Second story sucks, but it's basically just Entity 303 trolling some guy called Speed. There's 2 Entity 303s too. Apparently one is named Jonathan Entity, amazing name by the way, and worked for Mojang until Nosh got mad and fired him. The other says that he was Herobrine's best friend until he picked up a literal infinity stone and went insane, at which point they started to fight each other. Also hackers, also terrorists. The actual story is a fair bit darker, but when the first image in the gallery is just this, I can't take any of it seriously. I would go into the rest of his hacking group and the Red Rebels talked about in the story, but the authors haven't gotten that far yet. It's okay guys, only been 7 years, you've still got plenty of time. But now we move on to Null, which is somehow even more ridiculous. The storyteller, who we'll refer to as Anon, not for privacy, but because there's literally no names in the story, used to play Minecraft back in the early days, version 1.2.5 to be exact. and he kept seeing a black skin that would watch you from a distance and never actually do anything. It went away after Minecraft updated to 1.4, but he went back to the old versions for nostalgia and saw Herobrine? I think he actually forgot what story he was writing, because the next 3 paragraphs are all talking about Herobrine, except he got some signs that said Null, and a sound like crying, shouting, or growling, because as we all know, those 3 sounds are practically all the same. He emails Mojang, Mojang tells him to go away, he updates to 1.7, an email voice asks him for help, he sees some Swedish on a sign, opens it in Google Translate, and he reads something that, quote-unquote, makes his heart go cold. The people shouting and crying in his Lego simulator? Perfectly normal, but apparently people typing in Swedish is crossing the line. Racist. After that, the story is basically just some pointless dialogue and a half-hearted conclusion, nothing that matters. Oh, also, did I mention that this absolute masterpiece of a story was handcrafted by a YouTuber? 83,000 subscribers, 20 million views, and he still can't afford to hire a good story writer. Probably getting demonetized. Don't worry, buddy, I know the feeling. Now, there are some other creepy stories from the community, but they're somehow even more corny than Entity 303 and Null. I mean, literally look at the top stories on the Minecraft creepypasta wiki. There's Lunar, which is literally just the moon from Legend of Zelda, M458, which is just Steve with bad fashion sense and red contacts, and Boogerman, or my bad, Green Steve. You alright there, Stevie boy? You're looking a bit sick. I'd say to go to the hospital, but it appears you have eaten literal kryptonite, so no turning back now. So now you know the stories behind some of these infamous spooky Minecraft tales, but where are they now? I mean, the 3 biggest horror stories of the largest game of all time? Surely they've gotta be incredibly popular. Well, not exactly. Herobrine went big in 2011, and then 2012, and then 2013, and 14, and 15, and 16, and 17, and 19, and finally 2020. 2018's feeling a bit left out though, because no one cared about Minecraft that year apparently. Entity 303 got a little big in the middle of 2014 and then blew up in early 2017, and after that people stopped caring. As for Null, it's been riding the wave with Entity 303 for about 6 years now, even though it never really got especially popular by itself. But what happened? I mean, from 2012 to 2014, all you had to do was say the word Herobrine and boom, 30, 40, 70 million views. Now you make a video about Herobrine and everyone yells at you and insults you with broken English. How the times have changed. But back to my point. Minecraft creepypasta has had a serious dip in popularity, and there's a lot of reasons, so let's go into them. First off, you have to take into account the growth and decay of Minecraft itself. I mean, if you were like me, watching a lot of Minecraft videos a few years back, there's no way you could possibly miss the unimaginably high amount of videos asking, "Is Minecraft dead?" And according to Google, Minecraft's popularity in 2018 was the lowest it had been in 8 years since beta 1.0, so you could have very easily said that it was past its prime. Minecraft had a huge comeback in the middle of last year because of Minecraft Mondays, and again this year because of everyone being kept at home in quarantine. But Herobrine, 303, Null, they didn't make much of a comeback. Why is that? Well, that leads me to my second point. The story of Herobrine started really early into Minecraft's lifespan, around 2011, and Null and Entity 303 followed 3 years later, originally gaining traction around 2014. Now, these stories aren't exactly what you would call convincing, and there isn't any real lore like with a lot of modern creepy stories like the SCP stories. So a lot of people that were interested in these back then were children, usually pretty young ones, maybe from 8 to 13 years old. Even the youngest one in that group would be 14 now, and the oldest would be about 23 years old. And let's not forget that the main source of these creepy stories were from clickbaity YouTube channels, and if we're being honest here, those channels aren't really doing too good nowadays. So even though Minecraft did blow up again, these stories are outdated, and the people that knew them have outgrown them. The spooky stories most of us knew as kids are being replaced with basically the off-brand version of them. It's like comparing Coke to store-brand cola, except instead of soda, it's Lava Steve, Memory Steve, Demon Steve, Void Steve, Green Steve, Plague Steve, so on and so forth. And yes, those are all real, seriously. Lastly, creepypasta in general has been slowly dying down over the years after peaking in popularity back in the middle of 2014. See, when these stories blew up, they had everything going for them. YouTube was in a great place, and creepypasta and Minecraft's popularity were at an all-time high, so everything was stacked in the favor of stories like Herobrine, Entity 303, and Null. In fact, everything was so perfectly aligned, we may never see another internet story with the explosive growth and widespread popularity of Herobrine. The legacy of the OG Minecraft boogeyman has sadly come to an end. That's it for the video, boys. Sorry if this video was weird. I was a bit sleep deprived when I wrote the script for the video, and when I'm tired, I'm also sarcastic for whatever reason, so this video probably gives off a very different vibe than the rest of the series. But I think it's funny, so yeah. I also have got to mention, the Herobrine account actually started being active again very recently. It was on Hypixel just last week. Entity 303 and Null are still inactive though, from what I can tell. I have one more video in this sort of mini-series, but I'm honestly not sure whether I'll end up making it. I guess we'll just see how well this video does. And I know I said this at the start of the video, but if you missed that, please come join the Discord. I just made it for the channel. Come chill with us. We've got music, minigames, memes, Minecraft lore, and plenty more. Hey, that rhymes. Not only that, but you can also suggest pretty much anything you want for both the Discord server and new videos. I'm always looking for new ideas. And lastly, I just wanted to mention, school started a few days ago for me, so I might not have a ton of time for future videos, but I'm still going to try to keep on the grind. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Have yourselves a good one. Peace.